Hello dear students, welcome to this program. Today we are discussing vitamins. Before discussing vitamins in detail, let's first know the objectives to be covered. Number first, to know the definition and classification of vitamins. Number second, to understand the chemistry and sources of vitamins. Number third, to understand absorption and transport of vitamins. Number fourth, to know requirement and RDA of vitamins. And number fifth, to understand effects of deficiency and excess of vitamins. Definition of vitamins. Humans need a wide range of nutrients to lead a healthy and active life. Vitamins form a cohesive group of organic compounds that are required in the diet in small amounts, that's micrograms or milligrams per day, for the maintenance of normal health and metabolic integrity. The human body requires these nutrients to ensure normal metabolism, growth, and physical well-being. Vitamins are classed as micronutrients and are present in food in minute quantities compared to macronutrients, which include proteins, carbohydrates, and fat. Classification of vitamins. Vitamins are generally classified into two broad categories: water-soluble vitamins and fat-soluble vitamins. Water-soluble vitamins are readily dissolved in water. They are readily excreted by kidney and function as coenzymes and in energy metabolism. Water-soluble vitamins include thiamine, riboflavin, niacin, pyridoxine, cobalamin, folic acid, pantothenic acid, biotin, and ascorbic acid. Fat-soluble vitamins are able to be stored in liver and adipose tissue, little lost during cooking, and are toxic in small amounts. All fat-soluble vitamins require bile for digestion and absorption. Fat-soluble vitamins include retinol, calciferol, tocopherol, and phyloquinone. Chemistry and sources of vitamins. Vitamin A. It's also known as retinol. Vitamin A is an essential nutrient needed in small amounts by humans for the normal functioning of the visual system, growth and development, and maintenance of epithelial cellular integrity, immune function, and reproduction. Green and yellow fruits and vegetables, milk, milk products, and fish layer oil are the good sources of vitamin A. Vitamin D. It's also known as calciferol. Vitamin D is required to maintain normal blood levels of calcium and phosphate, which are in turn needed for the normal mineralization of bones, muscle contraction, nerve conduction, and general cellular function in all cells of the body. Vitamin D has main two forms, D2 and D3. Vitamin D3 is synthesized in skin by exposure to sunlight and obtained in the diet, chiefly in fish liver oils and egg yolks. Human breast milk is low in vitamin D, containing an average of only 10% of the amount in fortified cow's milk. Vitamin E. It's also known as tocopherol. Vitamin E is the major lipid-soluble antioxidant in the cell antioxidant defense system and is exclusively obtained from the diet. The term vitamin E refers to a family of 8 naturally occurring homologs that are synthesized by plants from homogenistic acid. All are derivatives of 6-chromanol and differ in the number and position of methyl groups on the ring structure. These compounds act as antioxidants which prevent lipid peroxidation of polyunsaturated fatty acids in cellular membranes. Seed oils like peanuts and sunflower kernels, spinach, mustard greens, eggs, nuts, liver, and organ meats, wheat germ, milk, fat, desiccated liver are good sources of vitamin E. Now vitamin K. It is also known as phyloquinone. It is a family name for a series of fat-soluble compounds which have a common 2-methyl-1,4-naphthoquinone nucleus but differ in the structures of a side chain at the 3 position. They are synthesized by both plants and bacteria. In plants, the only important molecular form is phyloquinone, which is also called as vitamin K1, which has a phytyl side chain. Bacteria synthesize a family of compounds called menaquinones, which is also known as vitamin K2. Vitamin K is widely distributed in green vegetables such as kale, spinach, and mustard greens. Vitamin B1. It's also known as thiamine. It is involved in carbohydrate, fat, amino acid, glucose and alcohol metabolism. Blackstrap molasses, brewer's yeast, whole grains, legumes, pork, nuts, organ meats, and wheat germ are the good sources of thiamine. Vitamin B2. It's also known as riboflavin. It is involved in carbohydrate metabolism as an essential coenzyme in many oxidation reduction reactions. It's found in mushrooms, yeast, and meats such as beef, pork, and lamb. Vitamin B3, also known as niacin. Niacin derivatives include nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide and nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, which are coenzymes in oxidation reduction reactions vital in cellular metabolism. Brewer's yeast, seafood, lean meats, milk, milk products, poultry, desiccated liver, mushrooms, and fish are good sources of niacin. Vitamin B5, it's also known as pantothenic acid. It's needed to form coenzyme A and is critical in the metabolism and synthesis of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Pantothenic acid is widely distributed in foods and high amounts are found in whole grain cereals, legumes, eggs, and meat. It's also found in mushrooms, yeast, and liver. Vitamin B6, it's also known as pyridoxine. It includes a group of closely related compounds which include pyridoxine, pyridoxal, and pyridoxamine. They are metabolized in the body to pyridoxal phosphate, which acts as a coenzyme in many important reactions in blood, central nervous system, and skin metabolism. It's important in the biosynthesis of heme and nucleic acid, as well as in lipid, carbohydrate, and amino acid metabolism. It's found in a variety of vegetables and meats. Some natural sources including brewer's yeast, Chinese cabbage, red and green peppers. Vitamin B7, it's also known as biotin. It acts as coenzyme for carboxylation reactions essential to fat and carbohydrate metabolism. Liver, egg yolks, green vegetables, and whole grains are rich sources of biotin. Vitamin B9, it's also known as folic acid or folate. It's involved in maturation of RBCs and the synthesis of purines and pyrimidines, which are required for development of the fetal nervous system. Adequate folic acid intake before conception and throughout the first trimester of pregnancy helps prevent certain brain and spinal cord defects such as spina bifida. Folic acid is found in dried peas, dried beans, yeast, and leafy green vegetables. Vitamin B12, it's also known as cobalamin. It's a general term for compounds with biological vitamin B12 activity. These compounds are involved in nucleic acid metabolism, methyl transfer, myelin synthesis, and repair. They are necessary for the formation of normal RBCs. It's found in oysters, chicken, beef, pork, cheese, fish, milk, milk products, organ meats, shellfish, and eggs. Vitamin C, it's also known as ascorbic acid. It plays a role in collagen, carnitine, hormone, and amino acid formation. It is essential for wound healing and facilitates recovery from burns. It's also an antioxidant, supports immune function, and facilitates the absorption of iron. Citrus fruits like oranges and lemons are good sources of vitamin C. Now, absorption and transport of vitamins. Water-soluble vitamins have active transports for absorption, molecules that pick them up in the small intestine in a section called a jejunum. These transports carry the vitamin molecules through the intestine's cell wall and deposit them in the body where they can enter the bloodstream. Because they dissolve in water, they do not require stomach acids to enable absorption. This also means they leave the body every day in your urine, so you need to consume these vitamins every day in order to maintain a full supply. Rather than slipping easily into the bloodstream like most water-soluble vitamins, fat-soluble vitamins gain entry to the blood via lymph channels in the intestinal wall. Many fat-soluble vitamins travel through the body only under escort by proteins that act as carriers. The food is digested by stomach acid and then travels to the small intestine, where it is digested further. Bile is needed for the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. This substance, which is produced in the liver, flows into the small intestine where it breaks down fats. Nutrients are then absorbed through the wall of the small intestine. Upon absorption, the fat-soluble vitamins enter the lymph vessels before making their way into the bloodstream. In most cases, fat-soluble vitamins must be coupled with a protein in order to travel through the body. These vitamins are used throughout the body, but excess are stored in liver and fat tissues. As additional amounts of these vitamins are needed, your body taps into the reserves, releasing them into the bloodstream from the liver. Requirement and RDA of vitamins. Humans need a wide range of nutrients to lead a healthy and active life. Components of the diet must be chosen judiciously to provide all the nutrients to meet the human requirements in proper proportions for the different physiological activities. The amount of each nutrient needed for an individual depends upon his or her age, body weight, and physiological status. There are certain guidelines in arriving at nutrient requirement and dietary allowances for various groups. The nutrient requirement of an individual and the dietary allowances for the group or a population are distinctly different. The former depends upon the age, body weight, and physiological and metabolic stats of the individual, and the later must take into account individual variation within the group, quality of the diet, effect of cooking and processing, and bioavailability of the nutrient from the diet. Recommended dietary allowance is defined as the average daily dietary nutrient intake level sufficient to meet the nutrient requirement of nearly all 97 to 98% healthy individuals in a particular life stage and gender group. Now, effects of deficiency and excess of vitamins. Most vitamins are not made in the body or only in insufficient amounts to meet our needs. They therefore have to be obtained either through the food we eat, or their absence may lead to several problems hindering the normal metabolism of an organism. On the other hand, extra supplement of vitamins will lead to high storage of vitamins in our bodies, which will cause toxic effect, and the situation is referred to as hypervitaminosis or vitamin poisoning. There are various types of clinical signs and symptoms associated with vitamins toxicity. Deficiency of vitamin A. Deficiency of vitamin A impairs immunity and causes skin rash and typical ocular effects like night blindness, xerophthalmia, xerosis conjunctiva, xerosis cornea. And when xerosis of the conjunctiva and cornea is not treated, it may develop into a condition known as xerotomalacia. Toxicity of vitamin A. Because vitamin A is a fat soluble and can be stored primarily in the liver, routine consumption of large amounts of vitamin A over a period of time can result in toxic symptoms including liver damage, bone abnormalities, and joint pain, alopecia, headaches, vomiting, and skin discoloration. Hypervitaminosis A appears to be due to abnormal transport and distribution of vitamin A and retinoids caused by overloading of the plasma transport mechanisms. Deficiency of vitamin D. Inadequate exposure to sunlight may cause vitamin D deficiency. Deficiency impairs bone mineralization, causing rickets in children and osteomalacia in adults, and may contribute to osteoporosis. The chief signs in fully developed active rickets are found in the chest wall, waists and ankles, and various deformities. The child is restless, fretful, and pale, with flabby and toneless muscles, which allow the limbs to assume unnatural postures. Development is delayed so that the teeth often erupt late and there is failure to sit up, stand, crawl, and walk at the normal aids. There is usually a protuberant abdomen, so-called pot belly. Osteomalacia may be called as adult rickets. It occurs generally in pregnant women. The changes in bone are similar to rickets. Skeletal pain is usually present and persistent. Muscular weakness is often present and the patient may find difficulty in climbing stairs or getting out of a chair. Toxicity of vitamin D. The main symptoms result from hypercalcemia. Nausea and vomiting can develop, often followed by polyuria, polydyspia, weakness, nervousness, and eventually renal failure. Proteinuria, urinary casts, azotemia, and metastatic calcifications, particularly in the kidneys, can develop. Deficiency of vitamin E. Early diagnostic signs of deficiency include leakage of muscle enzymes such as creatine kinase and pyruvate kinase into plasma, leading to neurological deficits, increased level of lipid peroxidation products in plasma, and increased erythrocyte hemolysis. Vitamin E deficiency causes degeneration of the axons of neurons, resulting in neurologic deficits, reproduction failure, liver necrosis, and fragility of RBCs, which is generally diagnosed as hemolytic anemia. Toxicity of vitamin E. Many adults take relatively large amounts of vitamin E for months to years without any apparent harm. Occasionally, muscle weakness, fatigue, nausea, and diarrhea occur. Deficiency of vitamin K. Bleeding due to deficiency of prothrombin and other factors occurs, a condition known as osteopenia. Blood may ooze from puncture sites or incisions. Hemorrhagic disease of the newborn and late hemorrhagic disease in infants may cause cutaneous, gastrointestinal, intrathoracic, or in the worst cases, intracranial bleeding. If obstructive jaundice develops, bleeding, if it occurs, usually begins after the 4th or 5th day. It may begin as a slow ooze from a surgical incision, the gums, the nose, or gastrointestinal mucosa, or it may begin as massive bleeding into the gastrointestinal tract. Toxicity of vitamin K. When taken orally, natural K vitamins seem free of toxic side effects. This apparent safety is borne out by common clinical administration of phylloquinone at doses of 10 to 20 mg or greater. Some patients with chronic fat malabsorption regularly ingest doses of this size without evidence of any harm. However, synthetic preparations of Menadone or its salts are best avoided for nutritional purposes, especially for vitamin prophylaxis in neonates. Besides lacking intrinsic biological activity, the high reactivity of its unsubstituted 3 position has been associated with neonatal hemolysis and liver damage. Deficiency of vitamin B1. Thiamine deficiency results in the disease known as beriberi, which has been classically considered to exist in dry and wet forms. The first symptoms are anorexia with heaviness and weakness of the legs. There is pain and numbness in the legs. The subjects feel weak and get easily exhausted. Edema is the important feature of wet beriberi. The calf muscles are swollen, the pulse is fast and bouncing, the heart becomes weak and death occurs due to heart failure. In infantile beriberi, the first symptoms are restlessness, sleeplessness, and cardiac failure. Beriberi occurs in human milk-fed infants whose nursing mothers are deficient. Toxicity of vitamin B1. It is not a problem because renal clearance of the vitamin is rapid. Deficiency of vitamin B2. Riboflavin deficiency results in cheilosis, that's dry, chapped appearance of the lips, angular stomatitis, that's lesions at the angles of the mouth, glossitis, that's tongue in general is acutely inflamed. Seborrheic dermatitis, skin lesions occur on the nasolabial folds and on the ears. Toxicity of vitamin B2. It's not a problem because of limited intestinal absorption. Deficiency of vitamin B3. Dietary niacin deficiency causes pellagra, a disease characterized by dermatitis, gastrointestinal disorders, and mental disturbances. Primary deficiency results from extremely inadequate intake of both niacin and the amino acid tryptophan, which usually occurs in areas where maize constitutes a substantial part of the diet. Pellagra is also called disease of 3 Ds because the disease has the symptoms of diarrhea, dermatitis, and depression. Toxicity of vitamin B3. Although therapeutically useful in lowering serum cholesterol, administration of chronic high oral doses of nicotinic acid can lead to hepatotoxicity as well as dermatologic manifestations. Deficiency of vitamin B5. In case of deficiency of vitamin B5, people become irascible, develop postural hypotension, have rapid heart rate on exertion, suffer epigastric distress with anorexia and constipation, experience numbness and tingling of the hands and feet, a condition referred to as burning feet syndrome, and have hyperactive deep tendon reflexes and weakness of finger extensor muscles. Toxicity of vitamin B5. It's not a problem as no adverse effects have been observed. Deficiency of vitamin B6. Deficiency of vitamin B6 causes peripheral neuropathy and epilepsy-like syndrome with seborrheic dermatitis, glossitis, and telosis, and in adults can cause depression, confusion, EEG abnormalities, and seizures. Rarely, deficiency or dependency causes seizures in infants. Sleep disturbances, irritability, and depression can also occur. Toxicity of vitamin B6. The ingestion of megadoses of pyridoxine, usually taken to treat carpal tunnel syndrome or premenstrual syndrome, although efficacy is unproved, may cause peripheral neuropathy. Senses of touch, temperature, and pain are less affected. Motor and central nervous systems are usually intact. Deficiency of vitamin B7. Biotin deficiency in humans has been clearly documented with prolonged consumption of raw egg whites which contain biotin binding evidence. Clinical signs of deficiency include central nervous system abnormalities such as hypotonia, lethargy, and developmental delay in infants and depression, hallucinations, and paresthesia of the extremities in adults. Toxicity of vitamin B7. Toxicity of vitamin B7 is not a problem because of the limited intestinal absorption. Deficiency of vitamin B9. Folate is essentially non-toxic. Deficiency produces megaloblastic anemia indistinguishable from that due to vitamin B12 deficiency. A deficiency of folate in old age significantly increases the risk of developing dementia. Toxicity of vitamin B9 is not known. Deficiency of vitamin B12. As plants do not synthesize vitamin B12, individuals who consume diets completely free of animal products are at risk of vitamin B12 deficiency. This is not true of lacto-ovo vegetarians who consume the vitamins in eggs, milk, and other dairy products. Malabsorption of vitamin B12 can occur at several points during digestion. Vitamin B12 malabsorption leads to pernicious anemia, damage to the white matter of the spinal cord and brain, and peripheral neuropathy, which is characterized by tingling or numbness in the hands or feet, a condition known as paresthesia. Toxicity of vitamin B12 is not known yet. Now, deficiency of vitamin C. Severe vitamin C deficiency results in the development of the disease known as scurvy. The disease is characterized by general weakness followed by shortness of breath, pain in bones, joints, and muscles of the extremities, swollen and tender joints, hemorrhages in various tissues, and pain in joints, bleeding gums, and loose teeth. Toxicity of vitamin C. The potential toxicity of excessive doses of supplemental vitamin C relates to intra-intestinal events and to the effects of metabolites in the urinary system. Intakes of 2 to 3 grams per day of vitamin C produce unpleasant diarrhea from the osmotic effects of unabsorbed vitamin in the intestinal lumen in most people. Gastrointestinal disturbances can occur after ingestion of as little as 1 gram because approximately half of this amount would not be absorbed at this dose. Oxalate is the end product of ascorbate catabolism and plays an important role in kidney stone formation. Excessive daily amounts of vitamin C produce hyperzoluria. This is all about the topic vitamins. Hope you have understood it well. Thank you.